want to bring in Mr. Raymond Vickery as well. Mr. Vickery, I want to understand from your perspective, sir. Beyond perhaps immediate tariff adjustments, how do you think an interim deal between India and the US will strategically position both the nations for a broader bilateral trade agreement, which is targeted for later this year?
Well, thanks very much for having me. I think it's absolutely necessary to build peace and prosperity internationally that these two great democracies, India and the United States, be able to cooperate economically. If you can't cooperate economically, it has a spillover effect in strategic matters, particularly vis-a-vis China. It has a spillover effect in regard to cooperation in the Quad with Japan, Australia, as well as the US and India. That having been said, cooperation is not the modus vivendi, modus operandi of President Trump. His orientation is that of the real estate developer, that everything is a transaction, that we agree on one particular transaction. I win, you lose, and it's to my advantage. And that's what he means by America first. I think it's absolutely correct that it's very unfortunate that the US and India, having founded the World Trade Organization together, and before that, the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, are now faced with a new proposition, and that is bilateral transaction on each and every trade issue. Those things are reality. There is also a political reality. India needs to be able to placate, if you will, Donald Trump. Donald Trump needs very, very much to have an announcement today of some deal. Again, the way in which he typically operates is to create a problem, which he did on April the 2nd by announcing the so-called Liberation Day, the ridiculously high tariffs based really on nothing but some sort of presumption about the trade deficit. He really doesn't understand trade deficits. He thinks it's some sort of profit and loss. But he needs to be able, and he will announce this as a huge victory. And I fully expect that the Indian authorities, following that, those of the UK and Vietnam, will help him by saying, yes, this is a terrific victory. But it isn't really at all. And what it is ameliorating a problem which he has created. So this so-called mini deal will have some purchases probably that India intended to do anyhow. We'll have some lessening of tariffs, which India needs to move forward to. President Trump is right. India has been a very, very high tariff nation. That may have served it when it had infant industries. It no longer is in that position. Yes. So it needs to be able to compete. So I think that there will be an announcement. Both sides will indicate it as some sort of triumph. But it really, as previous speakers have said, is not the way to run an international trade system, and is in derogation of what has gone before for the last 80 years, and in the longer run is not helpful to the U.S.-India relationship.
Mr. Vickery, is the trade deals and the tariff talks with different nations having any sort of an impact on the American economy, which is possibly raising questions about Donald Trump's ability to perhaps undo some of what people are claiming to be, a diplomatic disaster?
You're breaking up somewhat, but what I understand the question is will it have a domestic impact? Yes, of course, these do have a domestic impact, and in the United States, it has been shown through the polling that this idea of tariffs is not popular. And it will raise inflation rates in the United States, according to almost every mainstream economist. So this is a mistaken view, but President Trump has shown himself to be, as we used to say in the United States, a Teflon politician, where things seem to just wash off him and don't have at least immediate consequences. We have two elections coming up in Virginia and New Jersey this year. We have midterms next year. This sort of approach it may appeal to the base in the United States, the Make America Great Again adherents. But for the wider population, it is not helpful to him politically and is going to hurt the average man and woman as consumers in the United States.
Okay, on that note, Mr. Vickery, before I let you go, one last question. There's a lot of reports that are now circulating that there are insiders from Trump's team, President Trump's team, who've claimed that the tariffs and the threat of tariffs was simply a bargaining chip by President Trump, that the US was not really going to implement and enforce some of those tariffs eventually. However, do you see Donald Trump's plan having some sort of real impact or enough of an impact on the American economy for him to justify what is expected to cause some sort of an economic slowdown, at least in the coming few months?
The markets in the United States have already discounted a lot of what President Trump is trying to do. You've heard the acronym TACO, Trump always chickens out. There was to be an announcement of a lot of deals, and yesterday the Secretary of the Treasury said, well, there are letters that are going to go out for August 1. In a way, the amelioration of this wrong approach is that Trump is very much concerned about the markets, and when the markets turn south, turn badly based upon the tariffs, he tends to back off. And backing off has already occurred when you say, no, it's not July 9, it's August 1. I do think the United States and India will continue to negotiate. When we first started this, and before Trump came up with this idea of Liberation Day on April 2nd, the United States and India were shooting for something more substantive in the fall. Indeed, in Trump 1, the United States and India had come closer to a freer trade and a deal and a bigger deal. So in a way, this is backtracking, but it's going to be on the agenda between the United States and India for some time to come, and rightly so, because economics and security are all intertwined, and these two great democracies are going to need to cooperate to solve a wide range of problems in the world.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.